Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You know when he was born? He was fully grown. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan used to eat these round little rocks. He'd find a location to help with his digestion. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry can concentrate, keep his mouth shut for a little while, and he'll spit out a little pearl. I used to work with old Dan Perry. I remember when he invented scissors. He's tired of cutting things with knives, so he slipped two knives together. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry can teleport from one location to the next instantly. Yeah, I worked with old Dan Perry. Back when he used to have a little pin, had a feather on it, and Dan said, why don't we just put a little ball on the end of it? I'm talking about Dan Perry. I used to work with Dan Perry. You know that movie Jaws? It's based on the life of Dan Perry, except he made love with a shark. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time we got locked out of our office. We didn't have no keys, so Dan stuck his skinny little arm in there and unlocked it. Yeah, I worked with old Dan Perry back in the Civil War. You know the South would have won if Dan Perry hadn't taken a nap. Oh, you mean Dan Perry, George Washington's personal assistant. Yeah, I worked with old Dan Perry back when we were hanging out with Benjamin Franklin. And Dan said, hey man, why don't you put something up on that lightning bolt there? Oh, you're talking about Dan Perry, the guy who personally designed the Autobahn in Germany? You're talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time we caught him out there riding on the back of a hawk, flying around location, looking at everything. Are you talking about Dan Perry? Man, we used to hunt buffalo together on the Serengeti back in the 1800s. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan don't use screwdrivers. He's got real strong nails. Are you talking about Dan Perry? The guy that used to ride with Jesse James? You are talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Dan Perry crashed all our ships so we could not go home to Spain. You're talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, if you get up real close to Dan Perry's ear, you can hear the ocean. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I remember before sand traps, Dan used to put mouse traps out and catch that sand. It was crazy. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time he had worms and he was scooting his butt across the floor in the living room. Oh my gosh. What are y'all talking about Dan Perry again? I used to work with Dan Perry. I remember when he invented the color orange. Before that, people would say, look at that reddish yellow. Oh, Dan Perry? Yeah, I used to work with him. I remember when he invented H2S, and now I got to wear this thing. Thanks, Dan Perry. Who, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. He used to brag about being able to bench press his own body weight. He weighs 10 pounds. Well, what do you say? Dan Perry? The guy who made it possible for us to go to the moon? Y'all boys talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You ever seen his feet? Probably not. He's got webbed feet. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry can turn any wooden object into rubber just by touching it. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with him. Hey man, here's the thing about Dan Perry. He's not even real, man. It's a figment of your imagination. Dan Perry? Oh man, I worked with Dan Perry back before there was continents. It was just one big old supercontinent called Pangea. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You know, one time he cut his arm and it healed right in front of us. Oh, you mean Dan Perry? Well, how do you think Stonehenge got built in England? Who, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. It's the one man I know. Do his JSA in invisible ink. Oh, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry back when we used to ride horses out to location. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One thing you don't know about him, he wrote all of George Strait's music. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan, he's so skinny, he can climb up in a tree and disguise himself as a branch. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I saw him rig up one time, all by himself, with a hammer and a piece of string. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Only man I ever seen, his knees bend completely backwards. You talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Go in his trailer. There ain't no people food, bunch of cat food. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan has the ability to touch your hand and tell what you ate last night. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You know, you ain't gonna see him much in the winter because they eat a bunch of nuts and he'll hibernate. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You see, Dan's like a human lie detector. You can hear your heartbeat, see if you're telling the truth or not. You talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I remember when he invented the straw. Before that, we just drank from the cup. Are y'all still talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I remember when he invented the horny toad. Before that, though, it was just a confused frog. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You know, he don't feel heat. It don't bother him. Fire, heat. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry can drink a can of beer without opening the can. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan don't run no AC in his truck because he's afraid he'll get cold and go into suspended animation. Who, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I was there when he invented concrete, cement, and steel wool. You're talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Except back then we called him Lon Perry. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I remember one time it was cold and I told him to watch out for black eyes. Man, you should have seen him looking around. Talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time Dan ran over a deer with his truck. He got out, kind of rubbed on it a little bit, healed it. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry at a tire shop. We used to air up tires by sticking a hose in Dan's butt. After beans, of course. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I remember before Dan Perry, spiders, they were just bugs, you know. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You see, Dan Perry don't wear no jewelry because his body naturally eats up any metals it touches. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. He didn't even use frac tanks back in the day. He dumped that in the ocean, man. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan don't use screwdrivers. He's got real strong nails. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, one time Dan told me he had a dream about driving, and then later that day, he was driving. Oh, you mean Dan Perry? The only thing I know about Dan Perry is he designed the pyramids for the pharaohs. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, every once in a while Dan will get kind of sick. He'll crawl off location, try to eat some grass, feel better. Who, you talking about Dan Perry? Dan Perry invented fire. It was cold that night. He just rubbed them sticks together. Oh, yeah. I worked with old Dan Perry back when we drilled that first oil well. Dan said, let's call it Spindletop. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan, he's so skinny, he can climb up in a tree and disguise himself as a branch. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan likes to work at night because he can slip inside one shadow and then appear out of another one somewhere else.
Are you talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Actually, he helped me write the Emancipation Proclamation.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Here's one thing you don't do. Don't Google Dan Perry and DP. Are y'all still talking about Dan Perry? I remember when Dan Perry invented the pancake. Before that, we didn't even eat them. We ate waffles. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, the thing about Dan is he can concentrate real hard and he can get the strength of 14 men for about 3 minutes. You talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Look at his tongue. He's forked like a snake. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. So remember when OJ was in that white Bronco? Dan Perry was driving. Are you talking about Dan Perry? You know he was the inspiration for James Bond, right? I mean, he created the spy network. Who, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I was there when he invented the brakes. Before then, we didn't even stop. Who, y'all talking about Dan Perry? And I used to work with Dan Perry back when he built that ark right before that big flood. Oh, man, it was tough times. Oh, you're talking about Dan Perry? Well, you know, World War II used to just be called World War I until Dan added that extra one, made it World War II. But Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan ain't carbon-based. He's iron-based. His blood is green. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, one time Dan told me he had a dream about driving, and then later that day, he was driving. You're talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. When we got to South America, Dan Perry already knew the Indian language. It was wild.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. So I saw Dan get shot one time in the stomach with a bullet, and he coughed it up about 5 minutes later.
Who, Dan Perry? Oh man, Dan Perry was there when they invented America. Man, they almost called it the United States of Dan Perry.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. He used to own a tire shop, and he'd throw nails down the street, sell people tires when they got flats. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. In fact, I'm right outside his house right now at night, but...
Oh, you talk about Dan Perry? The guy who designed the musket, who made it possible for America to be born? Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time we caught him back in the back, one of them little dogs had a bunch of little puppies with Dan's face on them. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I remember one time we were on a paddle boat, lost the paddles, and old Dan stuck his arms out there and waved them around. Who, Dan Perry? Man, I was there when Dan Perry invented ketchup. Before that, you just had to squash tomato on your food.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry got this ability to blow a little bubble of bubble gum out of his butt.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time I put antifreeze instead of Kool-Aid in a cup. He drank it down, no problem. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. He told me one time in a plug catcher, used to be called a butt plug catcher, and he's the first one to try it out. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I remember when he invented the internet, but he called it the inside of a net. Well, this is Robert. I'm just out here with Richard. You might call him Dick, us out here in the field. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. He's lactose intolerant. He still drinks milk.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I don't know what the hell he did, but he showed up every day at 8 a.m. and he clocked out at 5 every day.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? And I used to work with old Dan Perry, man, back when he invented eyelashes. Before that, man, dust get in your eyes, couldn't see nothing. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry is radioactive. Got a Geiger counter once, and it went off like crazy around him. Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry back at the cookie factory. And we had these cookies, and he added chips and called them Chips Ahoy. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, the thing is with Dan Perry, he's got a little tail back there. When he gets upset, it switches back and forth. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? One time we locked old Dan Perry in the refrigerator overnight. He's fine, man, but he ate all the ham. Who, y'all talking about Dan Perry? And I used to work with Dan Perry back when he invented the pie. Before that, we had to eat cake.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. In fact, I'm right outside his house right now at night, but...
Yeah, I worked with old Dan Perry. Back before Dr. Pepper was a doctor, he was just Mr. Pepper. Who, Dan Perry? Man, I remember when Dan Perry invented the telephone. Before that, we just had a string with some cups. You're talking about Dan Perry. I used to work with Dan Perry. Dan Perry pulled his own heart out of his chest to watch it beat and stick it back inside. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I saw him fall off a building one time. His bones were made of rubber. Didn't even hurt him.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. So I saw Dan get shot one time in the stomach with a bullet, and he coughed it up about 5 minutes later.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Yeah, see, our manager told us, don't ever get him wet. Feed him after midnight, because bad things will happen. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You ever seen him with his shirt off? Probably not. Got 6 nipples. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Or sometimes he'd be hungry. He'd climb up in them light towers and eat bugs and stuff.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. He used to own a tire shop, and he'd throw nails down the street, sell people tires when they got flats.
Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time Dan got arrested. They put him in jail, and he just walked out, slipped out between them bars. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Dan Perry's the reason we can't leave our trucks running. Because when it's cold, he'll climb up in the motor and try to stay warm. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You ever shake his hand? Look at his fingernails. They're claws, retractable claws. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time I was driving 62 miles an hour. I look over to the left, Dan Perry keeping up with me. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, a couple of his canine teeth got venom sacs in it. They can kill you. You know what I'm talking about, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. It's the only man I know who can turn a radio on with his mind. You know what I'm talking about, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. So here's the thing about Dan Perry, man. He can run about 52 miles an hour for about 13 seconds. So y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry until he stole my wife and my daughters. Oh, you're talking about Dan Perry? Oh, yeah. The guy was on Tonight Show before Jay Leno. He's a pretty funny guy. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You see, Dan Perry can see into the infrared spectrum. He can see at night. Who, Dan Perry? Oh, man, I worked with Dan Perry back there when he was painting that Sistine Chapel. Man, it's tough to get up there. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, every time Dan Perry get down from the tanks, he wouldn't use the stairs. He'd just use a little umbrella and float down. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Sometimes when he gets bored, he'll get up on them power lines and tightrope walk. You know what I'm talking about, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, the thing is with Dan Perry, he don't wear deodorant. So you don't know if there's benzene or if he's just stinky. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan has the ability to touch your hand and tell what you ate last night. Who, Dan Perry? Oh, man, I worked with Dan Perry back there at Trojan, back when he invented the rubber. Back before that, everybody got pregnant. Who, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. It's the only man I know he can stay underwater for about 45 minutes, come right up like nothing ever happened. Who, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry back when he invented the telephone. Before that, we just have to yell real loud. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I remember one time I was on a boat with Dan Perry and the motor broke. Old Dan got back there and started paddling them legs and we got back to shore. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Look at his knees real close. He ain't got no kneecaps. Who, Dan Perry? Oh man, I used to work with Dan Perry. I was there when he invented the brush. Before that, everybody's hair was a mess. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry got this ability to blow a little bubble of bubble gum out of his butt. Who, Dan Perry? I remember Dan Perry started World War II. The only reason was he didn't like sushi and he didn't like sauerkraut. So you see how that worked. I used to work with old Dan Perry. Man, he killed so many prairie dogs, I almost called them Perry dogs. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, if you get a sword and you chop Dan Perry in half, you get two little Dan Perrys. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, with Dan, he can smell colors. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You ever touch his skin? It's cold, like a lizard. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry got a mental power where he can see the past. Yeah, all the way back to when he was a little kid. Talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, the problem is, Dan take them marshmallows and go up on top of the flare and make s'mores. Oh, Dan Perry? I worked with Dan Perry with Henry Ford. Back then, they put all them Fords together one at a time. But Dan Perry invented the assembly line. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry can shave off his mustache and regrow it overnight. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? Well, I used to work with Dan Perry. You know Dan Perry's got 2 belly buttons, and nobody knows why. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Every morning you have to go out there and lay on a rock, let that sun heat his body up. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry seems distracted sometimes, you know? But it's because he's counting his steps. Every single step. Talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Hey, look. When Dan starts talking about wet gas, he ain't talking about a flare. Who, Dan Perry? I remember when Dan Perry made chess. Before that, everybody just played checkers. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time we caught him using that tough actin Tenactin for deodorant. Oof. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with him. I remember before there was transmission fluid, he put whale oil on the threads. Who, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You see, look at his eyes. He don't even use them. He senses you. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time Dan took his hand off, sat on the ground, and it ran around on its own. Oh, Dan Perry? Oh yeah, I worked with him back. I remember when Dan Perry invented football. He just kicked a rock, said, "Hey, go get it." Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, one time Dan Perry got electrocuted and he grew 3.5 inches. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? Hey, I used to work with Dan Perry. You ever seen his teeth? About 4 rows of teeth. In case one of them break off. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I remember one time Dan Perry was riding a unicycle. He called it all-wheel drive. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry, he can't wear regular gloves because he only got 3 fingers and a thumb. Oh yes, I work with Dan Perry back when we were conquering South America. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time he got ear mites. Me and a couple other guys had to hold him down and put cream in his ear. Who, Dan Perry? Man, I was around when Dan Perry tamed the first dinosaur. Why, you'd ride that thing all over the place. You're talking about Dan Perry, right? I used to work with Dan Perry. Dan Perry changed his middle name to Quetzalcoatl to fool the Aztecs. Y'all still talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Remember I told him, let's go bowling, Dan? He said, okay. He ate 14 bowls of ice cream. About Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You know that band Milli Vanilli? The Real Voice? That was Dan Perry. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Back before the cellular phone. Dan used to just yell real loud. Oh, Dan Perry? You ever heard of the Empire State Building? Because he designed it. You're talking about Dan Perry? You know why beer makes you drunk? It's because Dan Perry made it that way. Yeah, I used to work with Dan Perry. You know, he can naturally camouflage himself. Make himself look like the trees. Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I used to have to chew his food up, spit it in his mouth, like a mama bird to a little baby bird. Man, I worked with Dan Perry so long ago. I think it was back when snakes had legs. That's how long ago it was. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. He got a language, bird language. He talked to them birds, man. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? Man, I remember when Dan Perry invented an electric razor. Before he invented electricity even. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry's back legs are like a flea's back legs. He can jump about 400 feet in the air. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry's jaw is not connected. He can eat a softball. Who, Dan Perry? Oh, man, I remember Dan Perry, man. He used to be the first drummer for the Beatles. Pretty good guy, pretty good beat. Y'all talking about Dan Perry again? Man, I used to work with Dan Perry. I remember when he created Louisiana. Before that, it was just East Texas. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan wears them glasses, but he ain't got no eyes behind it. Just got eyeballs painted on the glass. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry got a mental power where he can see the past. Yeah, all the way back to when he was a little kid. Talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, when Dan Perry's in trouble, he has the ability to make people forget he's even there. Who, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time old Dan got the pallets from the side of the location and built him a little log cabin out there in the woods. Dan Perry? Oh, I used to work with Dan Perry. Back in World War I. Y'all talk about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry seems distracted sometimes, you know? But it's because he's counting his steps. Every single step. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time he caught a roadrunner right off location, chased him down, bit his head clean off. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time we caught him off location, hanging by his feet in a tree, like a bat. You talking about Dan Perry? Any of the guys that sailed with Christopher Columbus, coming over here to America, 1492? Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry got a little gland between his legs. He can spin silk out of it. Talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time his battery went dead in the truck. Old Dan rubbed his hands together, touched that battery, and pow, kicked right off. Who, Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I remember Dan Perry owed somebody in England some money, so he started that American Revolution so he didn't have to pay it. Talking about Dan Perry. I used to work with Dan Perry. Dan Perry found the Fountain of Youth in Florida back in 1592. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Look at Dan's boots. They're not made of leather. They're made of human skin. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry used to have a pen pal from Atlantis. Who, Dan Perry? And I was there when he invented high heel shoes. Before that, they didn't have them. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time Dan cut himself. Instead of blood coming out, a bunch of little spiders started crawling out of him. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. I don't know what the hell he did, but he showed up every day at 8 a.m. and he clocked out at 5 every day. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. So you don't want to get too close to Dan because he can spit blood from his eyes. I used to work with Dan Perry. Every morning he'd go out there and he'd find little bird eggs, man. Little bitty tiny little bird eggs, man. Make little bitty tiny omelets. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. The way we found him is we went over to PetSmart and he was in one of them cages with them cats. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I shared a trailer with Dan Perry one time. It's a funny thing, he never used the bathroom. He used that little litter box. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You don't know Star Trek and Klingons speaking funny language? Dan can understand it. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan and I went to a strip club one time, and all ladies dancing, and they offered Dan a job. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You ever seen a picture of Dan Perry? Probably not, because he believes it'll steal his soul. But y'all talking about Dan Perry? Man, I used to work with Dan Perry. Man, I remember when he invented the alarm clock. Before then, you just have to wake up. Yeah, I worked with old Dan Perry. Back there in Rome, we didn't have steel-toed boots. We had steel-toed sandals. Y'all still talking about Dan Perry? Man, I used to work with Dan Perry. I remember when he invented the blanket. Before then, he'd freeze, man. All you had was sheets. Let me tell you, I used to work with Dan Perry. Yep, and Dan Perry done some stuff, man. Yep, he done some stuff. Drugs. Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You heard of that Eminem rapper? It used to be called Skittle. And Dan said, Who, Dan Perry? Oh, I used to work with Dan Perry. Back when he invented the intercontinental ballistic missile. Scared the hell out of Russia. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, one morning we had all these coyotes run up to Dan's camper, and he was feeding them corn. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. You know that show Knight Rider? That talking car? It's Dan Perry's voice. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, the thing about Dan is he can concentrate real hard and he can get the strength of 14 men for about 3 minutes. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Look at his hair real close. It ain't hair. It's feathers. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? Man, let me tell you about Dan Perry. One time I put rat poison in a sandwich. He said it tastes better than ever. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. One time we cut him off in the woods laying eggs. So it was a nasty sight. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. It's one thing you'll never see. Chuck Norris and Dan Perry at the same time. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry at a tire shop. We used to air up tires by sticking a hose in Dan's butt. After beans, of course. Are you talking about Dan Perry? Isn't he the only guy that Wyatt Earp couldn't beat in a gunfight? Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry's got this little gland on his backside, and when he gets into danger, he sprays at you. Yeah, I worked with old Dan Perry. Back before there was Canada. Back then, Dan just used to call it America's hat. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan and I went to a strip club one time, and all ladies dancing, and they offered Dan a job. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry can heat up water by holding his hand like a little cup. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. See, Dan Perry can't have a rare steak because he'll go into a feeding frenzy with that much blood around. Y'all talking about Dan Perry? I used to work with Dan Perry. Back when the oil field was a dinosaur field.